Hello fourth graders! Welcome back for part 2 of our duck hatching video. This episode is about candling, and you may notice that there are a few empty spaces in the incubator. Let me tell you why it looks like that now. So candling is a process that we can use to see inside the egg, and we can check on its development early along the way so we know if the egg is going to be viable or not. So the old way of doing this was to simply, in a dark room, light a candle and hold a tube up to your eye that blocks out the rest of the light in the room and look at the egg through the tube. And what this would allow you to do is see whether or not the egg was developing. This is why it's called candling. There is a professional device that you can do this with. It looks a lot like a flashlight, and it does the same thing of blocking out all the other light in the room. If there's background light, then it will interfere with being able to see. And you'll see in the video, it's not easy to focus and it's not easy to see with just a little bit of light. So the new way of doing this that I found out is to get a little bit of clay, and you can put it on a phone light and it'll do the exact same thing. You use the clay to block out all the other light from the phone. You set the egg right on that, and I'll show you what I mean. So here I am all set up with my candling and Play-Doh on a phone light system, thanks YouTube. And using this, we can turn out the lights in the room and be able to see what's going on inside those eggs. So I have to do this quickly, but in this video you can see there are some veins. There's an air sac on one side. And there's a dark spot in the middle. Here's another good looking egg. You can even see it moving just a little bit. Here's a good example. You can see the air sac at the top and where the baby chick is starting to form. Look at that one moving in there. I'll show you this last good one and then what the ones that did not make it look like. So sometimes an egg is not fertilized. And when we see it in the candling, we can tell that there's nothing going on in there. So this egg had no chance of developing. This egg started developing, but you can see that the blood vessel is a very different pattern than the other one. Other than a network, if you have a single line like this, that means that the egg is no longer viable. So this is day 11 of egg development. And the things that I'm checking for when I candle the eggs are, do they have a good air sac? Are the blood vessels lined up in a network, a web? And if there's movement, that's a really good sign. So I'm doing this process to see whether or not the egg is still viable. Right now, I have 27 out of the original 42 eggs that are still in the incubator. I had to remove the rest. And I'll talk more about this in the next video. But part of the reason why I had to remove so many is I don't think the thermometer is working exactly correctly. So my observed temperature may have been a little bit different than my actual temperature. I've gotten a good thermometer, and I'll talk more about that in the next one.